안녕하십니까?
Hello, this is
Dr.
Dr. Steve Easy Hands-On. My name is Kim Kyung-won. Continuing from the last lecture, I'm going to talk about the Osstem Guide System Kit. In this lecture, I'm going to talk about the SmartGuide KIT. It is an easy way to make a surgical stent on the study model by impression taking without CT scan. So let's have a look at the SmartGuide KIT. As I said before, it is to make a surgical stent on the study model by impression taking without CT scanning in an edentulous region. The advantages of the SmartGuide KIT: in case of the freehand surgery, the surgical skill is sensitive, so parallelism of the implant would be determined by the skill. So there are two implants placed not in parallel. That will pose difficulties in prosthodontics, and the long-term prognosis would be a problem. Using the SmartGuide KIT, the problems would be solved easily. Precise and parallel drilling path can be achieved using the tool. Characteristics of the SmartGuide KIT: first, it is a 3D preformed design. As you can see in the diagrams, there are four types. Single type, and the second one is the free end bridge for number 6 and 7 missing cases. For 2 missing teeth, we have small and large 2-unit bridges. The small one is for 2 premolar missing cases. The second one, the large one, is for a case where the second premolar and the first molar are missing. The second characteristic is the gap between the drill holes can be adjusted or controlled. Basically, the preform has the determined gap, but it can be changed due to the heat, and the gap between the drill holes can be adjusted up to 1 millimeter. The guide pin has tapered top, so the control of the gap can be done up to 1 millimeter. Number 3, this is a simple sleeve shape, and it has a sufficient sleeve length of 7 millimeters, and it is used to control the drilling path precisely. Let's have a look at the components of the SmartGuide KIT. In the SmartGuide, basically, there are 4 types of tools. The first one is the cast model. On the study model, we can do the design and drilling with the tools. Impression is taken, and patient's cast model is made. Extraorally, the gaps are measured with a ruler for drilling. Number 2, as I said before, the SmartGuide 3D preformed. 4 types of SmartGuides are available. Number 3, adaptation and checkup tool. Simply put, the SmartGuide can be made in advance and delivered to the mouth of a patient. An adaptation sleeve is mounted, and X-ray is taken. On the X-ray, the planned implant drilling path or gaps can be verified on the X-ray. Number 4, the SmartGuide is delivered to the mouth. Intraorally, drilling can be made using these tools. Let's have a look at each of them. First, round burr. This is to design and drill on the cast model. Number 35 and number 36, the teeth are missing on the cast. The missing area is about mesodistally 18 millimeters. The premolar region is about 8 millimeters, and molar region is 10 millimeters. They are marked, and the centers of each region is measured using a ruler. On the study model, using the round burr, drilling locations are identified. Number 2, diameter 2.2 cast drill. Round burr is used to capture the location of drilling, and initial drilling can be done on the cast model. Basically, it's the same as diameter 2.2 drill in surgical guide, and recommended RPM is 12 to 1500 RPM to be used on the cast model. Next, the guide pin. On the cast model, after drillings are made, 2 guide pins are inserted in them, and on top of that, the 3D preformed SmartGuide is connected to them, so surgical stent can be easily made using this tool. The guide pin, as you can see in the picture, the top portions are tapered because the SmartGuide sleeves are not changed under heat, but the middle portion can be changed under heat. Therefore, it is to control the gap between the drill holes up to 1 millimeter. So that's how it is designed in the guide pin. Next, SmartGuide. The SmartGuide, as I said before, can be softened in hot water about 70 degrees Celsius. And within 1 minute, the white color of the SmartGuide becomes transparent. So it is softened, as I said before, on the cast with the drilling holes. Guide pins are inserted, and the SmartGuide would be adapted on there, and the indentation is made on mesial distal teeth to make a solid surgical stent easily. The SmartGuide can be changed under heat, so if there is a severe undercut on teeth, the SmartGuide can be changed and they cannot be taken out easily. Therefore, using this kind of utility, the undercut region should be blocked out in advance. So the SmartGuide is for single use only. It is a disposable guide. It can be changed under heat. Therefore, autoclave is not an option. So low temperature sterilization in chlorhexidine solution is desirable. Hydrogen peroxide is not to be used in the mouth. The SmartGuide, as explained before, 4 kinds of edentulous type guides are available. The first one, the single one, it is 33.5 millimeter long and is for the single case. The second one is the free end bridge. The distance between the holes is set at 9 millimeters. As I said before, after guide pins are inserted, when it becomes softened under heat, the distance can be adjusted. The shape of the sleeve does not change, and the gap between the 2 holes is 9 millimeters. This is for a molar area with 2 teeth like number 6 and number 7 missing, and it is fixed on the premolar. 2-unit bridge has small type and a large type. 6.3 millimeter distance is for the premolar area. The large type with 8.5 millimeter distance is for 1 premolar and 1 molar missing cases. That is how it is designed. Next, a checkup bush. As you can see on the patient study model, using the SmartGuide, the surgical stent is fabricated, and it is applied intraorally to the patient's mouth, and checkup bush is used to take the X-ray. The surgical stent that we designed, the drilling path or position, can be checked or verified. That's the purpose of the checkup bush. So, through the X-ray, we do the verification. If the drilling paths are satisfactory in the mouth of the patient, the guide drill is used for the initial drilling. The SmartGuide is delivered to the mouth of a patient. 2.2 guided drill can be used for the initial drilling. As you can see, there's the guide part, 7mm long guide part in the drill. It matches the 7mm of the sleeve of the SmartGuide. So when they are connected together, the drilling can be made in a stable fashion. The drilling can be done following in an accurate path. The guide part is 7mm long and drill part is 7mm long in the 2.2 guided drill. If the guided drill 2.2mm diameter is driven in full length, and if you plan to place a 6mm short fixture, you need to keep in mind that the drilling depth would be 7mm if you go to the full length. 7, 8.5 or 10mm long fixtures will be okay, but you need to be careful with the short implants. Next, 3.0 twist drill. After 2.2 guide drill is used, 3.0 twist drill can be used. This can be applied to the SmartGuide. The laser markings are available for the length. If you drill the full length up to the stopper, the sleeve is 8mm, so up to 11.5mm drilling can be made. The length is 18.4mm, so up to 11.5mm drilling is possible. Using the laser marking, you can control the depth. The recommended RPM is 12 to 1500 RPM. So in the mouth of a patient, 3.0 twist drill will make the drilling easy thanks to the guide part. Let's go to the easy hands-on procedure. In this hands-on, SmartGuide KIT will be used to place the fixtures. 35 and 36 teeth are missing. Like a positioning guide kit, 2 teeth are missing. SmartGuide KIT can be utilized to place the fixtures. Let me briefly introduce the procedure. First, on the cast model, 18mm missing area, number 35 and 36, the missing area is marked with a pencil. The cast is drilled, the guide pins are inserted, the SmartGuide is made soft in 70 degrees Celsius water, and then it is adapted to fabricate the SmartGuide in the desired shape. It is delivered to the patient's mouth. Check-up bush is used to take the X-ray to verify the positions of the SmartGuide and the drilling holes. The SmartGuide is delivered to the patient's mouth. Drilling is done, followed by placing the fixtures. That's the sequence the hands-on will proceed. I will come back soon for the hands-on. Hands-on practice for SmartGuide is to be started. Number 35 and 36 are missing in this cast. The model is duplicated gypsum. The missing area is about 18mm wide, and that is measured. It is 18mm wide. For implant positioning between the teeth, 8mm for the mesial one and about 10mm for the distal one. So the two regions will have the drilling holes, and the centers of the regions would be marked for the drilling holes. As you can see, the distance between them is about 9 millimeters. So as it is marked, the round burr is used first. On the cast, the indentation would be made to capture the location on the cast. The drilling positions are marked on the cast. And then the round burr is removed. 2.2 cast drill is to be used to do the drilling. Considering the path on the cast, the drilling is done. Next, the guide pin is inserted to check the path. Next, the path would be in parallel with the guide pin. So the guide drill is inserted. At this point, the smart guide is selected, the wide one, the large one is selected. This one will be soaked in the hot water, 70 degrees in Celsius. It is soaked in the water. As time goes by, the guide is becoming more and more transparent. As you can see, it becomes transparent. In about a minute time, for location where undercut is there, utility wax is used to block out the area of the undercut. The undercut area may interfere with the taking out of the smart guide. In the meanwhile, the smart guide has become transparent, but it hasn't got softened enough in the inside. So this is inserted into the guide pins. It is pulled down and they are attached to the mesial and distal teeth to get positioned accurately. After it becomes softened, there's a tapered portions up to 1 millimeter, so up to 2 millimeters for both adjustment can be made. It is being cooled down. The transparent material is getting whitened again. It is being hardened. After it is set, it is fixed on the mesial and distal teeth. The smart guide is hardened like this. It is pulled out from the cast, and this is tried in the mouth of a patient. Next, the checkup bushes are used, and they are inserted into the sleeve. To verify the X-ray needs to be taken. On the X-ray, we can verify the placement positions. Checkup bushes are removed. In the mouth of a patient, this is delivered. 2.2 initial drill is used to make the drilling hole. The SmartGuide is mounted in the mouth. This is 2.2 twist drill, which has 7 mm guide part. It aligns with the sleeve of the SmartGuide for accurate drilling. So it is being drilled. 7 mm is the full length depth. So the sleeve is aligned with the guide. And 7 mm drilling depth has been achieved as the sleeve is mounted. 3.0 drill, if necessary, can be used. If you look at here, the path is rather short. 3.0 drilling can be done like this. 3.0. The final drill will be the taper drill. 1 to 2 taper kit drill will be used for the final drilling. As for the 1 to 2 taper kit, now we have used 2.2 and up to 3.0 drills. If necessary, 3.5 by 10 drill is used. There is a drill hole mesially, so following the path, 3.5 drill is driven. So we have done up to 3.5 drilling. The accuracy of the path would be surely good as the SmartGuide is used, but to verify the path, the guide pins are inserted to check the relation with the opposing teeth. So, like this, the relation with the opposing teeth is checked. The drilling positions are pretty good. The guide pins are removed. Mesially, 4.5 will be placed. So the final drill would be 4.5 by 10. 1 to 2 taper kit drill is used. Distally, at number 36, 5.0 by 10 taper drill is used. That's it. Drilling mode was at 1200 RPM. For Carvo engine, if you push the P button on the foot pedal, the mode is switched to the fixture installation mode. 40 RPM. The program button can be pushed for some seconds, then the mode would be switched back to the previous one. A surgeon can switch the modes by using the foot on the pedal if it is set like that in advance. That's a pretty good feature. At this point, it is switched to the drilling mode and mounted driver is connected. At number 35, 4.5 by 10 TS3 fixture is used. And drilling mode is confirmed again. Now the fixture is placed. The final part is done using the hand wrench. The position is adjusted in terms of the minute adjustment of the position, and the torque value is about 30 Newton centimeter. Number 36, 5.0 by 10 millimeter fixture is to be used.
픽처를 식립을 하도록 하겠습니다. 그리고 최종 위치는
The final positioning is done using the hand wrench. The insertion torque is about 25 to 30 Newton centimeter. At this point,
체결을 하고 이 상태에서
the relation with the opposing teeth is checked
대합체하고 관계를
on the cast
확인하실 수 있습니다. 그래서 저희가
using the SmartGuide.
그 정확한 위치에 그 스마트 가이드
The fixtures are placed very accurately. Now mounts will be removed. It is held with this open wrench and the screw is loosened. We do the same thing for this one too.
뒤쪽 것도
Now it's done.
이 상태에서 우리가 이와 같이
The cover is removed. Cover screw is to be connected.
스크루를
The cover screw is connected.
수술을 마치게 되겠습니다. 네, 이렇게
So we have used the SmartGuide. Number 35 and 36 are missing. And now the implants are placed. In case of the SmartGuide, if you do not have the CT equipment in your office, the conventional surgical stent needs to be used using the SmartGuide. For example, if 2 teeth are missing, in advance the impression can be taken and cast model is fabricated. So on the cast, you can simulate the surgery. Implant positions can be determined on the study model and they can be transferred to the mouth of the patient. So this is an easy way to fabricate the stent. Questions are coming in. Dr. Park said, when undercut is severely interfering with the pulling out of the SmartGuide, what do we need to do? During the hands-on practice, we use the utility wax to block out the undercut area. If the situation is severe, you must have soaked the SmartGuide too long in hot water. It became too soft, leading to the undercut problem. So the undercut area should be blocked out with things like utility wax. The SmartGuide, as you can see, is transparent, but whitish things remain inside. Therefore, if it becomes too soft, the undercut problem may occur. Therefore, you need to reduce the time soaked in hot water. Then I don't think you will have this problem. Let's go to the next question. SmartGuide is heated and it is shaped, but when it is to be connected, the fitting is not very good. I said SmartGuide is disposable. You should not use it in another patient, but after shaping the SmartGuide and when it is fitted in, the fit is not very good, then in the same patient, SmartGuide can be softened in hot water again to reshape it. Then the errors can be corrected. I said it's single use. That means you should not use it in another patient, but for the same patient, you can soften it in hot water again for the correction. Next question. When using SmartGuide, how many millimeters of distance adjustment can be made? guide pins are tapered, and I said 1 millimeter adjustment can be made. In the large side, 8.5 millimeters distance between the drill holes. Per hole, mesial and distal adjustment can be 0.5 millimeter each. So the distance is 8.5 millimeter. Therefore, it can be reduced to 7.5 millimeters. And it can be extended up to 9.5 millimeters. So the range is 7.5 to 9.5 millimeters adjustment. The set distance is 8.5 millimeters, depending on the missing area. The range is 7.5 to 9.5 millimeter gap can be achieved. So up to 2 millimeter adjustment is possible. So let's close Q&A. If you have further questions, leave your questions on YouTube or on this channel. Then I'll try to answer your questions as much as possible. Thank you very much for your listening.
경청해 주셔서 감사합니다.